Hi. Now, I'm just about to arrive at work. This is not what I'm talking about today, but I just thought I'd show you where work is. So that's the building there. There's 6 businesses in a row. Mine is the bright yellow one, the only one that's got colour on it. And we are in like a little trading estate. There's a dentist across the road. Pretty quiet down here today because most businesses down here in the trading estate are still shut till next week. So this car park is usually crazy, but it's not today. It's pretty quiet. Now, if you have not heard of Bert Munro, you need to look him up. He is a very famous motorcyclist that came from Invercargill, and he still holds the land speed record for a particular type of bike, which he built from scratch himself in his own garage based on an Indian Scout. There is a motorcycle rally that happens here every year in February, and the street races happen right there on that main road the car is just about to go by on that block. It's a circular circuit with some little chicanes. Happens right outside here. And then round the other side here we have a daycare centre. Now, we have had those kids in for kids fitness classes a wee while back. It's a shame that that didn't continue. The daycare centre changed management and now is owned by somebody else. So yes, that's where we are. Before I start talking today, I just want to acknowledge 2 sad pieces of news that I've heard today. One of the members of my triathlon club, the Cupcake Cartel, her husband died today. So sincerest condolences to her and all that family. I also just found out that a very old friend of mine who I went to school with, husband is now in hospital following a stroke. So I'm so sorry to hear that, and I hope that all ends up well with that family, and thoughts and prayers with you too. Now, today I have been to the pool. And when I went to the pool, as I was going in the pool, a dear old lady was coming out, and she stopped and said, "Oh, hello, it's so lovely to see you." And I was thinking, who is this? And then later she revealed that she was a staff member's nana, and that she watches all of these videos that I make and has been following along with me. And so I just want to say hi. Hi, lovely to meet you at last. Now, she is 84 and she goes to the pool every other day and swims 1 kilometre. I said to her when she was leaving, I hope that I can do that when I'm 84. Amazing lady, amazing. Now, I just did a nice easy 2.5K today, and the reason I did 2.5K is because I did a thing. I entered a race. Now, it's not really a race. To me, it's not a race. It is my first step back into sporting events, but as a para-triathlete, or para-athlete, should I say. And this event that I entered today was the Ruby. Now, it is an event that I have done once, maybe twice, a very long time ago. And it starts at the top end of Lake Wanaka, and you swim out and around Ruby Island and back again. Now, I have done the one where you swim around Ruby Island twice and back again, and I didn't want to do a big long one. Plus, I wanted to leave it to make sure I was actually going to be able to. I had talked to them a long time ago, and now the longer events are actually full up, and they now do a 10 and a 5K. How many laps around Ruby Island must that be? So I am entered for the 2.5K, which is out round the island once and back again. Now, I just want to thank Eddie and the team that organised this event, because I spoke to them before I entered to make sure that I would be able to, and that there would be enough provision in place for me to get in and out, because it's a beach start and finish. And they have kindly offered me a staff member to be my handler to get me into the lake. It's a deep water start, thankfully, but it's a beach finish. And that person is going to help me get in and then help me stand up and get out afterwards. And they're also allowing me to park my car quite close to the race start. So thank you very much for that. That was very much appreciated. But I'm going to have to get up really bloody early, because it'll take me all that time to get into that goddamn wetsuit on my own. That will be fun, won't it? So that event takes place on the 30th of January, which is in a couple of weeks. and it is 600 meters longer than Challenge Wanaka, but I love open water swimming and there's not many opportunities to do it, and if I wait too long I'm going to miss them all and the open water swimming season will be done. Now, there's been a lot of work behind the scenes here in South Otago to put some open water swimming events together, and there's a series actually locally, so I've got my eye on another one in March, which is called The Legend, and it happens in Lake Wakatipu, which is in Queenstown. It's the longest, deepest lake in New Zealand, and there's not many opportunities usually to swim in it, and there's several of them, and they're all beach starts except for their longest one, which is 3.8k, which is the distance of an Ironman swim. Now, I've done that before. I did 4k the other day in the pool. It's not a problem, but you've got to get past the mind game because this one is in a straight line. So they take you in a water taxi down there, drop you in, and then you swim up the shore and get out somewhere else. So when 3.8k is in a straight line rather than round in circles, that's going to look a lot longer. However, I have been speaking to that team of race organisers, and they are willing to help me with crutches and things, getting me to the water taxi, and the jumping in part will be easy, but somebody will then need to take my stuff to the other end and then help me get out at the other end because it's a beach finish, and they've agreed to help me do that, so I'm considering entering that too. So that will be 3 swim events, January, February, March. Seems quite nice, I would say. And then hopefully by the time I get to the end of that, I'll be able to ride perhaps, and I'll be able to get back on Zwift once I've got this next leg working well, and then maybe cycle in the winter. We'll see. So that's my grand plan. So we'll see how that works out. I nearly forgot to tell you. The most important piece of news today, I almost forgot about. This came in via email first thing this morning. So you will know that I have lodged a complaint with the Health and Disability Commissioner, which is like the health system's ombudsman if you are in a European country. And there is an advocacy service, and they help you to put the case together, and I used them to make sure that the case would have its maximum chance of being looked at and somebody that was local, comes from New Zealand, helped me write it, and that way we're hoping that it's got a good chance of being looked at. A very small percentage of the cases that are sent to the Health and Disability Commission, which are complaints cases about the health service, a very small percentage of them are actually looked at and investigated. So I know that it's a long shot if this actually gets looked at, but I needed to put it in and do it and give it a chance to see if it does. Because in effect, I think that there should be policy change because there was too many systemic mistakes in the vascular signs to too many departments, and that would impact a lot of people, and that is what I believe is what's caused me to lose my leg. And this is not about me, this is about the system and preventing it from happening to others, and policy change, and this is government level. So I put that complaint in just before Christmas via the advocacy service, and I wasn't sure if or when I would be able to even hear from them, but I got an email this morning from the Office of the Health and Disability Commissioner to say they've opened a case file and they're doing a preliminary investigation. Now, that doesn't mean that it will go anywhere. That doesn't mean that there'll be a formal investigation and anything will happen. But it does mean that I've got past the post bag of nonsense, and they're actually going to take a look at this one, even if it's just a basic look at it. So I need you to put your fingers and your toes and cross everything. They are going to ask for some responses from all of the people that are involved in my case, and then they decide whether there is a case to be had, whether they're going to continue to investigate. So I will know, they said sort of 8 weeks or so, I'll know what the next stage is and where they're up to, and they'll keep me up to date all along. So I'm really hoping that this will make it to the investigation stages, because I really do believe a lot of people could be affected by the mistakes that were made in my case. So that was my big news today, and I actually felt really happy that it actually came back to me in an email, because I honestly didn't expect it, not this soon anyway. So that's my excellent news today. I've entered a race, And the race organisers of making provisions for me to be able to get in and out, so there won't be a drama. And I got heard back from the Health and Disability Commission. So that is a really good day for me. Now, what I want to do is go back. I made this recording earlier today because a lot of people have been asking me how I get in and out of a car with a wheelchair when I don't wear a prosthetic leg. Now, I've been doing this all along, right since the beginning, as soon as I figured out how. And I don't wear the leg at the moment because it doesn't fit. So I don't use the wheelchair a lot, but I do still need to take it out, especially when I'm going to places where I'm going to need to carry things. So here is a demonstration of how I get the wheelchair in and out of the car as an amputee whilst not wearing a prosthetic. I'm going to show you the version as if you have a below the knee amputation and you can kneel, and what you might do if you've got an above the knee amputation and you can't kneel. And I'll show you how to adapt it for left and right side. So here we are. All right, today I am going to show you how I get into the car with the wheelchair without my leg. Now, I can't wear the leg at the minute because it's way too big and I've got to wait for the limb centre to open again after Christmas. I've been doing it this way all along. Putting a leg on just helps the balance a little bit, but it's not the way I started. So I'm going to show you. Now, you'll need a pair of crutches because that's how I get from the back of the car to the side of the car. And there's a few ways that you can do it, and I'll show you it for a below the knee amputee where you can kneel and an above the knee amputee where you cannot kneel. So this is how I would get here. I would put the crutches on the foot plate and hold them between my thighs and get here in a wheelchair. So the crutches have to be propped up on the side of the car so that you can grab them. Now, what you want to do is you want to be, I always do it this way around so that my good leg is on the side that's nearest to the car, and then I will turn around and face the wheelchair. So if you're a left leg below the knee amputee, you would do it this way, and if you were a right leg below the knee amputee, you would go around that side and you do this all in reverse. So we put the brakes on the wheelchair and then I turn around. Now I've got pretty good balance and I can do this standing up, but you may not be able to, or you might not have a knee. So I'll show you it first without a knee. This is how I used to do it at the beginning before I got better balance. So I sit on the lip of the car, and to get it past me, because I've got quite a small car, I have to take the foot plates off and I take the cushion off. Now, this is a folding wheelchair. You might have one that the wheels come off and the frame goes in. It would be exactly the same process. So you fold it up, and you need to be on the right hand side of the car as far as you can, and then we'll lift it in and past me, and that's the wheelchair in. Now, if I'm then going around to the side of the car, we get the crutches and away we go. Easy peasy. Now, if you can kneel and your balance is pretty good, I'll show you another way that this can be done. So getting it out, if you haven't got a knee, we get it out the same way. We take it out and put it on the floor and then open it up and then put the cushion on. Easy as that. And then I'd get the foot plate out of the car. Now, if you've got a knee and you can kneel, there's a slightly different way you can do it, and you don't need to sit down on the lip of the car. So we'll go again. Again, if you are a right leg amputee, you do this all the other way around and you're standing on that side. So we put the cushion in, and then I just put my knee on the bumper. I'm not kneeling on it, I'm standing on my right leg, but my knee is just on the car as an anchor. Then we fold the wheelchair, it makes it easier to lift, and in it goes. Then we grab the crutches. Oops. Oh, they're the wrong way around. And then off we go. Easy peasy, easy as that. Getting it back out is the same in reverse. So put crutches on the ground, knee on the car, lift it out, and open it up. Easy as that. There we go. And then we'd get the foot plate, if you have removable foot plates on. Off we go. So that covers how to get into a car with a wheelchair. If you are a right and a left leg below the knee amputee, you kneel on the bumper. If you're a right or a left leg above the knee amputee, then you would sit on the lip of the car. Most wheelchairs, this is heavy. This is a heavy wheelchair, so most wheelchairs are lighter than this one. If you've got one that doesn't have cross braces and doesn't fold up, it will be lighter than this, and then you take the wheels off. It's just as easy to take the wheels off. I used to do it like that as well. I'll just show you that quickly to show you that it's actually possible. So, on this wheelchair, the wheels come off with a little button on the side. So I would fold it up and then take the brake off, take the wheel off, and then we'd put the wheelchair in the car bit by bit the same way, if you can't lift it all up yourself. So there we go. Easy as that. Hopefully that will help a few people who are amputees and are trying to get a bit more independent and get your wheelchair and yourself into the car. Now, if you are a little bit unsteady on your feet with crutches, you just need to make sure your amputated leg is close to the car, so you've always got a bit of stability like that. If you're not sure that you can get round, make sure you're always leaning against the car so that you know that you're not going to fall over. So, hopefully that will help a few people out. And if you've got any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you all again soon. Don't forget, keep the comments coming in. The sort of things that people said they like to see is happiness and cheery news and that sort of thing from Europe, because it's all a bit dismal, and some of the New Zealand scenery and, you know, what life looks like somewhere else. So if there's anything else you want me to add in, let me know and I'll talk to you soon.